Tradition does not mean a dead town. It does not mean that the living are dead, but that the dead are alive. It means that it still matters what Penn did 200 years ago or what Franklin did 100 years ago. G.K. Chesterton. Off in the middle of nowhere, situated between two towns of little importance, is an even smaller town. That's where I live. It's a sleepy sort of place where everyone is very close to one another and always very knowledgeable about what everyone else is doing. You may have passed through and not even realized it. There are nearly 300 living here now. That's more than there's ever been. I was born here and I've lived here all my life. It's quiet, but not a bad place. The people here are all very nice and very normal. In some small part, all of them are a part of me. No matter where I go or what I do, I imagine they'll always be a part of me. I started college this fall a little ways off, and even though I miss my home, I love being there. Really, it's a lot like home anyway. The students don't always get along, and they don't always do what's best for one another, but the way they're brought together is through tradition. The school has some pretty long-standing traditions for things like sports and graduation, and I'm glad to be a part of them. For my film class, we were asked to show a tradition from our home. It could be anything, my teacher said, as small as a town hall or as something as large as, well, something as large as ours. My friends and I made a bet that we would come back with the most interesting town tradition, and I'm determined to win. This video is to document my town's oldest and most important tradition, the lottery.
The lottery? There's always been a lottery. I remember going to the lottery with my dad, my granddad, and I'm pretty sure he did it too. I remember growing up with it, and Grandma always brought these wonderful meatballs. Just these good tomatoey rich things in the sausage. Really. The lottery? There's always been a lottery.
I mean, I don't really. That's a good question. I don't really know. There's always been a lottery.
Well, I guess that's a big question, isn't it? But I really don't know the answer. There's always been a lottery.
I don't know. I can't imagine life without the lottery. It's always been there. It's always been a part of us. There's always been a lottery.
I'd say it's more about superstition these days. More about the tradition itself than the meaning. Do you know that there used to be chants, and dances, and all sorts of hoopla that went along with this lottery of ours?
I look forward to the lottery every year. It's the event of the town. We all dress up, we have a big feast. It's fantastic. This one year, I met this kid, Johnny. He was the sweetest boy I'd ever seen in my life. And the next year, he won the lottery. It was fantastic. The year after that, the crops were amazing. And I like to think that Johnny had something to do with it. There's always been a lottery.
But I've heard that there used to be more. I mean, now we just gather, we take the piece of paper, and, you know, was there used to be more? I know the box used to be different.
It might have been a little different, but everything moves so much faster today. So, there are shortcuts.
I feel sometimes that we're missing something, that we just gather and we just make the choice, and the people don't really appreciate our tradition and what it brings to us and how it makes us special in the world.
I think that's true. Some people are almost ashamed of it.
The lottery's been around ever since I moved here. I mean, my parents brought me here as a little girl, and I remember it being done, and I don't know, there's always been a lottery.
I mean, it's always been just a tradition here. It's one of my favorite traditions of my childhood. I can't even imagine what my life would be like without the lottery, because, you know, there's always been the lottery.
The lottery is a very fair process, very natural. Each person has an equal chance, you see. We can't play favorites with something so important. It's all up to the luck of the draw.
It's very fair.
It's very important. We are defined by our traditions.
All we have left is our little black box. It's not the original, but it's rumored that it was built with the pieces of the old black box when it finally gave out. We're not big on change around here, as you well know. Wouldn't have changed the box at all, except the old one fell to pieces eventually. And what do? Piece it back together.
It seems like there's no time at all between lotteries anymore. Like, we had one just last year. It seems like it was just last week.
Yes, ma'am. Time sure does go fast. Barely out of one lottery before there's another one. But you know, a year's gone by when the lottery comes back around.
It's not the way it used to be. People ain't the way they used to be.
Do you know how long it took me to convince them to switch the method of slips? It used to be pieces of wood, but I pointed out that with our town growing so much, paper was the only thing that fit in that black box. That convinced them.
The lottery? Why, it's been around as long as I can remember. Started back in, well, way before my time, that's for sure. We just get together. The kids help beforehand. It's all very official.
They do say that over in the North Village, they're talking of giving up the lottery. I've heard some places have already quit lotteries.
Give up the lottery? Pack of crazy fools. Listening to the young folks? Nothing's good enough for them. Next thing you know, they'll be wanting to go back to living in caves, nobody work anymore. Live that way for a while. Used to be a saying about lottery in June, carn'll be heavy soon. First thing you know, we'd all be eating stewed chickweed and acorns. There's always been a lottery.
Oh. No. Just push me on the top. This is like a wheel castle. Just push me on the top.
This has been going on your whole life, right?
Yes. It has been going on my lifetime, my parents' lifetime, and probably before. It defines us as a people. It is our tradition, and we will continue it.
Without the lottery, it'd be total chaos. We've got to have it. It's part of us, but part of who we are. Without the lottery, what are we? Some small speck on a map that no one sees. We need the lottery. We need our traditions. It's who we are.
June 27th every year, we gather here at the town square. Everyone wears their best, and it's like we're going to church. Well, almost. It's an important day, and you can see it on everyone's faces. The kids don't notice the atmosphere so much, but they're usually here early to help prepare. The stones are their favorite part. When everyone's gathered, Joe Summers lines us all up, and we each take a slip of paper. Back when my mom was young, they used to do it by families, with the husbands drawing first, and overall it was a much longer process. Some younger kids around here got that changed. They said that each person deserved to try their own luck, and we've done it like this ever since. Nobody looks at their paper until everyone has one, so it's pretty quiet there for a while. But once everyone has one, the real tradition begins. We all open it up and see who's the winner this year. It's always very exciting. I could tell you what happens next, but I really think it's better if you find out on your own.
Everybody, you may now open your slips.
I think we should do the whole thing over again. It wasn't fair.
All right, let's finish this quickly.
It's not fair. It's just not right. It's not fair.